One, two, one, two, one, two, three, four. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody.
Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, May the 12th. I am Bruce Leonard, of course. Thank you for tuning in to another hour of Bruce Leonard Leans Left. While it's still legal. Still legal today, sort of. If you read that proclamation the other day, it's getting sketchier and sketchier at all times. I'd like to start with the roast of Kevin Hart that was on Netflix. I did not watch all of it. I saw some of it, and a lot that I saw was funny. But I gotta say this: 3 hours is too fucking long for a comedy show. I'm a professional comedian. That is too much comedy. Like even when you go to a theater. You don't sit there for 3 fucking hours. Like that's a lot of comedy. That's like there's no way that everybody. I mean, I said I haven't watched the whole entire thing, but there's no way that every single person was funny for 3 fucking hours. It's like, come on, man. Julia, what's up? I would like to say I've started to see some people that I knew from Las Vegas popping up on the television. Chris Waldick was on the Tony Hinchcliffe thing, and I'm not sure if Evan Connolly and Marcus Johnson were on TV, but I saw some reels from them at the Comedy Store. And I just want to say that I'm very proud of those guys, and I'm glad to see people getting success. And the people that you are seeing popping up on the TV are the people that took comedy seriously. You know, they showed up to all the mics. They put in the work. They workshopped their material. They wrote all the time. And not everyone does that, and that's why you don't see everybody. These guys, I said almost all of them to a man, I said took it seriously, comedy. So I'm glad to see the work actually pay off for them. I'm glad that I'm sad that I'm not there to see and participate. But I am happy for those guys and Stephen Briggs as well. If you never heard of Stephen Briggs, you should check him out. He's very, very funny. And he is also starting to become successful. He is actually toured the world now, and he's done some acting things. He was a bit part on Curb Your Enthusiasm, I think, on the last season. Again, a guy who took it very seriously, comedy. I said worked really hard. I said went to all the mics. It's like it's not something that's very easy to do. You know, like for a long time you have to work for nothing. Like if you're trying to achieve success in the entertainment business or anything like that, you have to sacrifice a lot of your time for free. And dedication to the art and the craft is what keeps you going, and that's what keeps. If you have a local open mic in your area, right? Go there. You don't have to go all the time, but just go. And then, like 6 months later, go back and see how many people are gone and how many new people there are, because people come and go all the time in comedy, and only the true artists stay. And those guys, I said, worked really hard at it. And I haven't seen Josh Lidauer on TV yet, but I think that I will. There are some comics in Vegas that you're like, these guys are going to go somewhere if they stick to it, you know. I just wanted to give a shout out to those guys because I saw them on TV. I saw Chris Waldick on TV, and I was very proud. I'm very happy for those guys. I said, I'm not one of those people that's like, fuck those guys. That's why I ran a mic all the time. Ivana Khan says someone should nuke the whole world. Well, they might. That's like, I don't know if you it's following what's going on, but it's very possible. They said Vladimir Putin's living in a bunker now because he's so afraid that somebody's going to assassinate him or kill him. You know, because the people are starting to turn against him finally. They realized, I said that they're not going to win this war with Ukraine. It would take years and years and years at the current rate that they've captured territory. I think they said it would take 50-something years for them to to get Ukraine. And as a matter of fact, Ukraine has started to counteroffense and take back territory. So for the first time, it's like a net loss of territory for the Russians. Now, it's not a lot, but still, they're pushing it back. So they're not going to win this war, And as the Ukrainians get better and better at droning, they hit a city inside of Russia. It was almost 2,000 miles away from Ukraine. They said that city was always been used as a military city because it was believed that it was too far inland for them to be attacked. Well, the Ukrainians have made drones now that can go that far. So people in Russia are starting to realize that they're not safe now. And whose fault is that? See, that's the problem being a dictator. Trump wants all the credit for everything he does, right? But that also means you get all the blame. But see, he doesn't want that. He doesn't want any blame for anything. He wants the credit for everything, no blame for anything. And that's what Putin is the same way. He's like, any dictator, like I said, is like, okay, everything that good happens is because of you, but that means that everything that bad happens is also because of you, right? Because there's no one else making these decisions. That's the problem. I said, that's the double-edged sword. The catch-22, being a dictator. It's like, Trump's always trying to throw people under the bus, but there's no one left to throw under the bus. Who's he going to throw under the bus now? Everybody knows that everything comes from Trump, right? He lets you know on True Social every 10 seconds. It's all him. Ken says, did you hear about that shooting in Cambridge? I did not. What happened? Another shooting? Shocker. Who would imagine that? A shooting in the United States? No, here's the level. Like I said, if you don't know this is true. This happened. They delivered the last tanker of Middle Eastern oil to California yesterday, I believe. So there's no more oil coming. All the oil that made it out of there is here now, and there's no more coming out. So, and last night on News Nation, I guess it was, the question was, Ivanka says it's crazy that absolutely nobody can do anything. Yes, I know. Listen to this. They said this is the level of delusion that you're dealing with, Ivana Khan. This is true. So the guy says, what do you say to critics? He's talking to Sebastian Gorka. If you don't know who Sebastian Gorka is, he's like one of Trump's advisors. He's got questionably, ties to Russia and the KGB. He's a shady Trump nutlicker, like anybody else. But he's another one of these guys that kind of stays under the surface. He doesn't pop out a lot because then people would start asking questions about his Russian ties. His name's Sebastian Gorka, for Christ's sake. The guy says, what do you say to critics who assert that this long conflict and its economic consequences represent an intelligence failure? Gorka says, utter, complete hogwash, garbage, fake news of the highest degree. This action has been planned for decades by the president. Now he is in the chair, and everything you see has been planned out to the last scintilla. Everything is happening to plan. Really? This is the plan? $6 gas, tank the world economy, shut down global shipping. This is the plan? It's like... It just tells you how far they'll go to lie about everything. Every single thing. This is not some plan. It's been planned out for decades. If it was that his body, Hey, what's up, Jimmy? His I wish you were here the other day, Jimmy, because there was another scientist, and he started trying to talk science to me. I was like, the resident scientist is off on Saturdays, I guess. You only watch when you're at work. But anyway, Gorka says that this is all according to plan. He's been planning this for decades, and it's going all exactly how he thought it would. Like I said, his plan was to bomb the shit out of him and for them to give up. That was his plan. He's been thinking about this for decades. If I could just bomb the shit out of them, they would just give up, and I would be a hero. Jimmy says, like J.P. Morgan deliberately caused the Great Depression so they could make money. Yeah, maybe. I mean, somebody's making a lot of money off of this. You know, they're betting on the prediction markets and they're cashing in. Like I said, somebody made a $9 million bet the other day on the prediction market. Now, you don't, like I said, you don't put $9 million on anything unless you know. Yeah, but J.P. Morgan wasn't the president of the United States. You about the Trump phone? Speaking of some crazy shit. Let's find it. Trump supporters handed over $59 million for phones that may never exist. Nearly 600,000 Trump supporters reportedly put down $100 deposits for the gold-colored Trump phone. 8 months later, many say they still haven't received anything, and some report that they have been unable to get refunds. The Trump mobile website is still accepting deposits, even though its own fine print states that it does not guarantee the phone will ever be released, that regulatory approvals will be obtained, that production will begin, or that delivery will occur within any specific time frame. This is the actual text from the site. Trump Mobile does not guarantee that the device will be commercially released. Regulatory approvals, including FCC authorization, will be obtained. Carrier certification will be secured. Production will commence or continue, or delivery will occur within any specific time frame. In other words, hundreds of thousands of Trump supporters sent tens of millions of dollars to the Trump family for a product that may never materialize. And Don Jr. and Eric took that money and invested in a drone company and then turned that into a $25 million government contract. And people still give them money and think that they care about them. He cares about us. We're going to send him more money. Jimmy says, okay, damage global economy, force the interest rate to zero so they can buy massive amounts of real estate cheaper. It's not voodoo economy, it's American economy. Rich people get richer in bad economy. Why do you think that makeup wearing shitbag is demanding a zero interest rate so they can purchase property cheap? Yeah, right. Do you see what this thing is now? Right? He's like, oh, to help with the gas, we'll suspend the gas tax. Well, you know how much money the gas tax brings in to the federal government? That means that no money's coming in. Meanwhile, he's spending $1 billion a day over there. You're going to paint the reflecting pool. Remember, he said it costs $1 million to paint the pool. Now it's up to $13 million. This is the art of the deal. Jimmy says, every time I see one of those Trump people on YouTube, they're living in a trailer in a yard full of broke down cars. Yeah, pretty much. I told you, they're the lost Confederates who are convinced that their life sucks because we freed the slaves. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying that's the way they fucking... Oh yeah, I get 5 or 6 a day. Julia says he uses the same tactic as televangelist, still sending multiple fundraising emails to his followers. The grift never stopped. Yeah, you get 4 or 5 a day. So I'm on the Trump mailing list. Yeah, I get 4 or 5 emails a day. It's like, you gotta get me money now to save the country from the radical left communist lunatics. They all want me to paint the pool. All this is going on, and the world's falling apart. He's walking around with pictures of his ballroom, talking about a pool. He's got a model of an art she wants to build. Like, he's not even thinking about it. Today, they asked him, "Do you are you concerned about America's financial situation when making a deal with Iran?" He says, "Not even a little bit. I don't think about America's financial situation." I thought that's what he was elected for. Right? That's what he said. Fix the economy. He's a businessman. But no, the tariffs are gone too, kid. Remember, the Supreme Court made them illegal. So he's not getting any money that way, right? And he's not getting any. And they cut the, hey, Kings Gamer, what's up? Thanks for coming back. All right. And he cut the taxes, right? That was part of the big, beautiful bill, right? Cut the income taxes, right? Now he wants, I read you that thing the other day. They have to borrow $166 billion a day right now just to keep operating. $166 billion a day. It's not a wig. You think if I got a wig, I'd have more hair there. Just me and my Peyton Manning forehead. So he cut income taxes, right? There's no tariffs. This is illegal. And now he's going to cut off the gas tax. Now, do I want to pay the gas tax? No, but they said it's only like 18 cents a gallon. But if you think about 18 cents a gallon, every gallon of gas that people buy, that's the money. How much money is that? It's a lot of money that the federal government's getting, at least offset some of the cost of this fucking war. Yes, Jimmy says conservatives no longer exist. Libertarians walked away from the Republican Party a long time ago. Yeah. They got sucked in by people like Nick Fuentes and people like that. Libertarians, I mean, they've always been kind of wishy-washy anyway, don't you think? It's like libertarianism was cool in theory, and when the population of the country was like 5 million people, baby, and you needed to share shit with your neighbor, sometimes whatever. It's like, but in a world of three, and in a society of 300 million people, it's like you need some fucking rules, It's like. If I can't get by to trade and shit, it's like, I forget what they call that. I used to argue with this guy all the time because he was like, just get rid of all money and go back to. Jimmy says we're just focused on legalizing weed. Well, yeah, I've been with you in that fight for 25, 30 years, man. It's like, I have a bit about that. Well, I was like, I am a veteran. Like, I didn't serve in the military and think I was a guerrilla fighter in the drug war. It's like marijuana's legal now. We won. You're welcome. Where's our parade? Fucking metal. It's like, took a long time. It's a war of attrition. Julia says they were against freezing the gas tax when they tried to introduce it during Biden. Suddenly they're trying to do it now because it's his idea. Yeah. Well, the nut licking is and then the hypocrisy that, the hypocrisy these people operate with is unbelievable. You've never seen this level of, they fucking do shit and then and somebody does the same thing and they fucking attack them. It's like, you just fucking, they were getting on somebody who was on Fox News. They were getting on somebody for marriages. Like, marriages? It's like Jesse Waters and where is it? I have it here somewhere. It's unbelievable. It's like, dude, it's like you was married 3 times, cheated on your wife with your second wife with your third wife, and you're talking about other people, personal lives. Jimmy says after we legalize weed, we will then work on legalizing prostitution, right? That's a Carlin bit, the old Carlin bit. He's like, selling is legal, fucking is legal. Why isn't selling fucking legal? Again, most civilized countries, like in Europe, they have it. You know, you think that it would. People always say this is a myth. I believe though, it's people always say like, oh, if you have prostitution, you have less, sex crimes, and I'm like, I don't believe that because sex crimes are not about, just having sex. It's about deviancy that other people have, or like a lot of rape is not about sex, it's about control and power. It's like, and just being able to get a prostitute legally is not going to take the urge away from some asshole that needs that, like that's why I haven't ever studied it, but I like to see the statistics of countries that have legalized prostitution and how many sex crimes they have. I bet it's about the same as any other place. Because I said that's not going to fulfill the psychological need that these twisted fucking assholes have, But everything they did with Biden, that's what I said. Everything they're still trying to blame everything on him. I was talking about that the other day. They keep talking about Joe. Whenever they get run out of something to say, they get the Biden. It's just like the gerrymandering, Julia. They all say, "Oh, we don't want to do it, but we got to do it because they did it, you did it." And it's like the Democrats put a bill up to ban gerrymandering, and all the Republicans voted no. Now they want to act like, high righteous, like they were forced into it. Like you weren't forced into it. You were offered the option. And you decided not to because they have to cheat. Why do you think the Electoral College even exists? Jimmy says, I was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Prostitution was 100% legal when my grandfather was a young man in Oklahoma. Yes, it was. In the 1800s, prostitution was legal. It was actually a profession. Lots of women went west to be prostitutes. But like everything else, though, like some of those stories heinous. You know what I mean? Like some of the girls forced into it, or they didn't have any choice, or they were orphans, or they would go when you ever watch Deadwood, like Swearingen would go to the orphanage, and that's where he would get girls. It wasn't so. Yes, Julia was born and raised in Tulsa as well. Where you live at now? Oh yeah, Boston. Boston. That's where Evan Conley's from. And Cash Patel was up there today. It's like the fact that, like I said, people just accept this. Like today, the ballroom is up again. It's like it started. He said it was to be 20 million, then 30 million. Now it's up to $40 million. And he's like, and they're like, hey, the price tag has doubled. What is going on? And he's like, well, I made it twice as big. Like, what? It's like they're like, the price is doubled. He goes, well, I made it twice as big. You're a dumb person, aren't you? You're not a very smart person. You're a dumb person. And they're like, dude, this is the president of the United States. He's talking to people like he's fucking 10 years old. And the very fact that we accept this is, to me, is maddening. It's like, dude, what is it about this guy? He's bumble-fucked every single thing since he got in office the second time. Right? Name me one fucking thing that's gone well. Jimmy says the madam kept the girls in line. The girls kept the cowboys in line. You're right. Exactly. Like Unforgiven. I love Unforgiven. It's one of my favorite movies. The Old West is fascinating. I'm reading a book about it now. Uh, I just got done reading this book about Tokugawa Ieyasu and the history of Japan. And there was a fucking slog, man, to read that book. I mean, I tell you, it took a long fucking time because it was all Japanese names and all Japanese places. And it's like, dude, sometimes you have to reread a page, 2, 3 times. I'm not kidding. Like, man, there's a lot of fucking people. A lot of names. It's Japanese. It's hard to take it in. It's like, man, but towards the end of it, I learned like there's some parts of it that you could just skip over. Like once you start naming all these names, it's like, okay, you can skip over all these names unless you're like writing a paper and you need to know every single person. Jimmy says, I got a scholarship to Berkeley in Boston, but I didn't go for very long. I didn't want to work in Guitar Center. It's sad, isn't it, Jimmy? And I said that that's what the world has come to. We're like, oh, you could go to Berkeley College of Music and then be nothing. I used to, there's this band called Blair Crimmins and the Hookers, right? They were all Berkeley guys. They were like a ragtime band, like from the 30s. Guy played, guitar, banjo, all this shit, and then he had horn players, and they were great. They're great. Look them up on YouTube. They got videos and stuff. They're really, really good. But same thing. They're all Berkeley, University of Berkeley music graduates. They're all riding around in a van, like barely making money. Jimmy says we got replaced by software. Jimmy says Berkeley College of how to never be a songwriter. It's that too. Most of the great songwriters, they're not classically trained musicians. Most of them, like I don't think Bruce Springsteen's like a classically trained musician that went to college for music or anything like that. He just was a good songwriter. Bob Dylan, he, all those guys, they didn't go to college. They just picked up the fucking guitar and started writing. Kurt Cobain, I'm not sure if the Beatles went to like Brian May. He's a physicist like you. Also a great guitar player in Queen. But I said, I don't think he went to college, studied music. Freddie Mercury might have. You don't just learn it like someone taught him how to sing. Like you just wake up one day and sing like that. It's like, he took that shit serious. But yeah, they're grilling Cash Patel. They ain't got no fucking answers. I said to any questions. Except same shit. There's nothing. Need $1.5 trillion for more war. It's like, well, how are we gonna get out of this war? Don't know. Oh, this happened. Remember when Gorka? Well, I just told you that Gorka told you that that this was all part of Trump's plan. He's been planning it for a whole decade, right? This came out right before I came down here. It says Iraq and Pakistan have reportedly struck separate deals with Iran to secure shipments of oil and liquefied natural gas through the Strait of Hormuz, according to Reuters. Development is a striking sign of how much leverage Iran now holds over one of the world's most critical energy choke points. The Strait of Hormuz normally carries about 20% of the world's oil and natural gas supplies. With Tehran effectively deciding which countries can move energy through the waterway, Iran is demonstrating its growing ability to shape global energy markets. The implications are enormous. Countries are now negotiating directly with Iran to keep fuel flowing, underscoring how disruptions in the region are driving up oil and gas prices and increasing economic pressure around the world. And Trump says they ain't got no cards. I told you. After this goes on long enough, these countries are going to make deals with Iran. Jimmy says Merle Haggard might have thrown up on the steps of Berkeley one time. Isn't he from he's from where the Deftones and them are from. Corn. Bakersfield, I think. Merle Haggard. Because when I used to travel through California all the time, they got streets named after him and shit. Merle Haggard Boulevard. What's up, Ahmed? Thanks for coming back. But yeah, so these countries just gonna cut Trump out. Like I said before, the world's gonna go on. We're just not gonna be part of it anymore. And now Iran is in a stronger, better position than they were before the war. Was this part of Trump's grand plan too? That he been cooking up for a decade? Yesterday he's falling asleep. Did you see that? They're talking in the Oval Office. Whenever he stops talking and other people start talking, he just he's out. People gotta like kick his chair, like, hey, and no one seems to give a fuck. This is what I can't understand. Like they let him bumblefuck out. Yeah, the hantavirus, Ahmed. It's not as contagious as the COVID. So they keep saying it's not going to be as bad. But again, it's a virus, so it could mutate at any time and become more contagious. But as of now, you have to be really close contact with somebody to get it. It's generally spread through rodents, like the plague, I guess, or what they used to say that the plague was spread by rats, but then later on they said they didn't think that was true. Julia says that's because he was sundowning all night on Untrue Social. I'm just saying, these countries aren't waiting for us. You go, hey, you want to open straight? We'll just go make a deal with them. We need oil, like I said. And no matter what anybody says, I tried to explain it to you before. They can't just come over here and get it because we don't sell the oil. What we sell is light sweet crude. And our fucking refineries aren't set up for that. So that's what I'm saying is, even though we have all this oil, we're not set up to use it. So today, the last load of Middle Eastern oil, like I told you, or last night, or today sometime, the last ship carrying Middle Eastern oil came to California, and that's it. It's gone. From now on, we're on stockpiles. They said it could be rationing, oil rationing. I don't know if you're old enough to remember this, but I am. When the last time we had a bunch of shit with Iran, when Jimmy Carter was president, I was a little kid. But people were literally in line at the gas station. And you were only allowed to buy so much gas. Ahmed says they're trying so hard to cover up for Trump and the Zionists with literally anything like spreading diseases. Now, see, I don't know about that. I haven't heard that theory, but everything is so fucking ridiculously suspect now. You can't trust anything that you hear. Somebody else said that there was some kind of pedophile thing going on the Disney cruise ship, and that's what this is all about, trying to distract and cover up from that. But I haven't seen that either. I've seen people talking about it, which means, it's on the Reddits and the X and all that shit, I'm sure. It's fucking, I told you I don't traffic in misinformation and speculation on this show. I will tell you that I've seen these stories. If you want to call them stories, but that's what I'm saying is I don't call them stories because I haven't seen an actual news article of some kind, real journalism of some sort that infers these things. It's all internet speculation. Jimmy says Donald, Jimmy Carter, Trump. It's what the J stands for. Well, I mean, like a lot of people believe that COVID for some reason was a conspiracy. But like I said before, what were they trying to get out of it? If you can explain it to me, I'm willing to listen. But I'm saying, like, what did they get out of it? And what could they have possibly gotten out of it? The conspiracy theory is a it's easy to say it, but it's like I said, if it's a big plot and a conspiracy, you have to think to yourself real hard. Like, what are they trying to get out of this? You know, what is it shutting down the entire fucking supply chains all over the world, to shutting down the economies, having everybody locked up in their houses and having to print money and give money to people because they can't work. Like, how does that, driving up inflation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, how is that good? You know, there has to be an end game to a conspiracy. There has to be, like this war, like Jimmy said, like they're trying to make money off of it, and people are making money off of it. So okay, that's plausible. But COVID, like, what was the fucking point of it? If it was a conspiracy, what were they trying to do? You know, that's what I could never buy into the COVID thing, because it's like, what are they doing? You know, it doesn't help anybody to shut down the world. Jimmy says it's basic science. Overpopulation always leads to viruses. Sure. Or easier transmission. Now, worldwide travel makes it easier for a virus to appear somewhere halfway across the world and come here, you know, because some jerk off goes to fucking, you know, Cambodia or some shit. Picks up something and doesn't feel sick, and gets on the plane and comes home and then gets sick, and all of a sudden that virus from across the world is here, where it would have never gotten here, you know, in the past. Same as why all the indigenous people died when, you know, when the Europeans came over and brought the smallpox and all these things that they had never seen. They have no immunity to it. Ripped through them like a fucking, you know. That's the other part of Western conquest. Like these white supremacists like to act like the white Europeans were so badass and they came over here and they conquered everybody, you know, blah, blah, blah. But half the people died of disease. If that didn't happen, do you think they would have conquered those people? Fuck no. It's easy to conquer people when half their population dies and the other half is maybe sick, or, like I said, the whole thing is collapsing because so many people are dying. It's like, and they just took their shit. It's like looting a dead body. They act like, oh yeah, they're so tough. They're not tough. They never been tough. It's just like now. People talk a lot of shit. The 25, 30%, you know, the Trumpers, the Klan people, whatever, like they think that they're, you know, but the reality is they're going to get their asses kicked again if it comes to that. It's like, you've gotten your asses kicked almost every single time. Why would you think that this time would be any different? They all have this fucking ridiculous fantasy that they're all these tough guys. It's like, most of them, as you see, like Mark Wade Balla talks a lot of shit. You see the pictures of him on January 6th. He's like hiding underneath the fucking desk like a bitch. Josh Howley's like running down the hallway like a little girl. Like, they're all fucking bunch of pussies. Jimmy says England, Spain, France, they all landed at the same time. The asses are still fighting over language from a foreign continent. Yeah, exactly. No, I just mean in general. Like the Spanish conquest of South America, or, you know, and of Mexico and all that shit. And like I said, half of the killing was done by diseases. If those diseases didn't exist, and they had to fight the actual population of those places, you know, even with the technological advantage, they probably wouldn't have won. I'm just saying, it's a myth, you know. It's like everything else. It's like, without the fucking diseases, I said, it would have been much harder to conquer those people. They were basically given a gift. It's like, and they happen to be, like I said, the most duplicitous fucking backstabbing fucks you ever. Julia says they wanted to thin the herd, like what the Heritage Foundation put in Project 2025. Part of it is about killing off 100 million people. But see, why? So they don't vote. The only way Republicans can keep voters down is if they kill off everybody else and just leave their own vote. But see, that's the problem, though. is something like COVID. It's not targeted in any way. Like once you let it go, it's out. It's like I said when all the lockdown and shit was going on. Is it's stupid all the lockdown and all that shit. You know why? Because it ain't never going away. You have to be like I said, at some point, you just put it on the list of things out in the world that can fucking kill you and go about your fucking day because that's all there is to do. There's nothing else to do. That's like, now I got the mask and the 6 feet. Like you could do precautionary steps to try to keep yourself safe, but the virus never going away. Like we just went back out into the world, didn't we? One day they just said, "Okay, you can take off your masks," and you're just walking around again. It's like we could have done this months ago. It's like I never understood. No, I didn't get all crazy about it like most people would say, hey, man, it's cramping my style and the freedom and the tyranny and, all that. I just thought it was stupid. I don't think it was tyranny. I think it was confusion. Nobody knew what to do. I mean, that's first pandemic in my lifetime I can remember. And I'm 54 years old. So there was never, that's why I was saying it was the weirdest thing. I lived in Las Vegas. They shut the whole city down. We used to sit on Tuesday nights on the deck, right? And it was so fucking quiet that you could hear them building a building on the strip, like at night, because they work at night in Vegas because it's fucking just so hot in the daytime. They were building like a big high-rise casino, and you could hear it. They were miles away. You could hear the guys banging on it. It was eerie. You could go to the strip, and there was no cars. It was empty. Everything was closed, and you're walking up the Las Vegas Strip. It was like a apocalypse zombie movie, without zombies running around. But it was eerie. It was like a neutron bomb. They say. I don't think they really have it. I think it's like a myth, but it's like supposedly it's a bomb that they can drop, and it doesn't destroy anything. It sends out this radiation called neutrons, and it kills all the people, but it leaves everything intact. And that's what it seemed like. Was that it was eerily quiet. There's nothing going on. I wish I would have taken some video or something of it because there's no way to describe how eerie and weird it was. But I didn't think, like I said, some people like I met think there was a conspiracy with COVID. And I'm not saying that there isn't, but I'm saying I don't buy into it because, like I said, I don't understand what you have to tell me what they were trying to get. If it's just killing a bunch of people, Julia, I mean, it's not that easy. As you release a virus, you're going to kill your own people too. I mean, I guess if you're talking about killing 100 million people, I guess you don't really give a fuck who dies and who doesn't. What's up, Stuart? He's back. How you doing, my friend? It's good to see you back. Some of y'all come back. I appreciate that. But yeah, so I could never, and like I said, the people said, "Oh, it's about tyranny and locking you down," and I don't believe that was the case either. I believe they said nobody really knew what to do. It was the dumbest shit, right? Like when I went back to work, I mean, I never stopped working because I worked in the grocery store, and the grocery store never closed. But a lot of people, they lost their job, or they didn't lose their jobs, but they were on hiatus or whatever, and they were locked in their houses. They couldn't do anything, go anywhere. But I at least kept working. But we had to wear masks, right? And I worked the third shift. I was a third shift supervisor of the night crew, right? And we'd wear masks, which is cool. When you're all together and you're like tearing down pallets and you're all close together, you're wearing masks. Then we would break up into separate aisles at the grocery store to throw the groceries, right, onto the shelves. And you're in the aisle by yourself. And you're like, can I take my fucking mask off? I'm in the aisle by myself. There's no one around. No, you got to keep it on. You're like, why? You got to keep it on. There's fucking nobody here. It's like literally within 50 feet of me either way. I can't take my fucking mask off. It's hot as fuck. You're working your ass off. It's like, so finally I said, fuck it. I unhooked one ear. I let it hang to the side of my face. It's like, Stuart says, you mean furloughed? Yes. Technical term. Yes, I'm aware. And yes, you remember that, right? They shut down this Vegas Strip. I said all the dealers, bartenders, all the servers, people that worked in those casinos, they were out of work for a whole year. That's why I had to give out the PPP money. But that's what I'm saying is there's no logical explanation as to why you would do that. That's why I don't buy the conspiracy that COVID was a conspiracy, because I said, why would you purposefully shut down the economy, shut down the entire world, disrupt all the supply chains, have to print money for people because they're not working? It's like, it doesn't, driving up inflation. I said, it doesn't make any sense. That's the problem with this conspiracy people and people like that, and the modern day conservatives, knee-jerk people. They think with their emotions and not with their fucking brains, And the internet is a vile fucking sea of fucking, like I said, lies and misinformation and complete bullshit. Matt Walsh today was talking about the history, isn't the history. It isn't accurate. And then he proceeds to have some mini documentary where he's attacking Martin Luther King and saying he was really violent and shit. And you're like, are you fucking kidding me, man? Really? Like, they're off the fucking deep end because they lost all their fucking viewerships. And now, watch, the Daily Wire is going to get crazier and crazier and crazier because, like I said before, if you're chasing clicks, you got to get crazier and crazier and crazier. All the time. Every day you got to top yourself. Just watch Benny Johnson. Just watch his feed. Every day he's topping himself. It's got to get more and more extreme because to keep the audience clicking. Julia says, I was also paid to stay home because school was closed. Kids did remote learning. That's okay. It gave me more time to spend with my dying hubby. Yes. It was actually a blessing in disguise. For sure. For some people it was. See, that's fucking ridiculous. The fact that you actually believe that. Stewart says, I think the American left and government helped China create COVID-19. Fauci, among others, did it to remove Trump. But see, that's bullshit. Now you're in power. Trump's in power. If that was true and you could prove it, you don't think he'd be fucking saying that? Really? Like I said, use your brain, Stuart. I know you got one. That's why people give him money for the Trump phone. It ain't never going to fucking happen. People just let Trump steal money from them because they're that sucked into the fucking cult. It's like, tell me, Stuart, tell me that's true, right? Trump's in power now and the Justice Department does whatever he wants. Right? And if that is true, don't you think Tulsi Gabbard would have dug that up by now, or somebody would have dug that up by now, right? They would be talking about it. But they're not talking about it, are they? They're still talking about that bullshit 2020 election lie bullshit. They can't prove that either. You know why? Because they lied to you, Stuart. Sorry to break your news to you. But Trump's not a reliable person. He's a grifter, a thief, and a con artist. And right now he's got the national debt above the GDP. I just explained that to you on the last time. And that's the same question you asked last week. And I fucking told you the answer. Because he knows that Trump's going to come after everybody. So he pardoned them preemptively to protect them. And you see, Trump's going after everybody. James Comey said he didn't want a pardon, right? And you see what happened. He went right after him. You don't have to be a fucking genius to figure that out. And that doesn't even matter, Stuart. You don't think if they could prove that, they wouldn't be on TV talking about that right now? They said, use your brain, bro. It's a problem I was just talking about. You think with your emotions, not with your brain. Slow down, take a breath, think about what's going on, and realize they're fucking bullshitting you. It's like Trump. How many times has Trump said, Iran's gonna, they want to make a deal. He's been saying they want to make a deal now for 2 fucking months. They're not making no fucking deal. He's lying. That never happened. They never told him they're going to give him that uranium. They never told him any of that. He's talking out of his ass, and people like you just be listening to him. How many times does someone have to lie to you before you would get, like I said this 1,000,000 times, if Donald Trump was in your family, you'd kick him out. Or you might not kick him out of the family, but you'd stop inviting him to Thanksgiving and Christmas and shit. If all he did was come to your house and fucking bullshit right in your face all day. You wouldn't put up with that. He's president of the United States. Why do you think he's hiding 3.5 million files, Stuart? Again, use your brain. Where's the files? Why is Ghislaine Maxwell not in prison? Come on, man. Really? You believe this? It's just, obviously it's hard to get stuff to stick on Trump. Because he just commits crimes. Like you, Stuart, if you started a phone company and took a bunch of people's money, $45 million, and then you said, well, sorry, I'm not putting out these phones, and you didn't give any refunds, and you kept all the money, you'd go to fucking prison. Wouldn't you? Or you should. Trump just fucking did it and no one even cares. Because they were under court order. So those cases were still going on. See, all these fucking arguments are bullshit. You can keep trying. I could probably, right there, it took me 1 second to knock down your argument because it's bullshit. Because you didn't really look into it, did you? You just listen to what Hannity tells you, or Jesse Waters, or whoever you get your information from, which is not information at all. Those cases were all there were still court cases going on. Ghislaine Maxwell's appeal was still going. Remember, she didn't get to the Supreme Court till after Trump was in office. Her appeal got denied. Then Todd Blanche gave her that softball interview where she said, I don't know nothing about Trump. And then all of a sudden, she went from prison to a fucking cushy fucking day camp. You don't find that fishy, Stuart? In any way. And then, like I said, they passed a law, said you got to release the files. They only released half of them. And they should have. They should have. They didn't go hard enough, you ask me. The only reason he got all that documents case is because he put it in Eileen Cannon's court and she threw it out. Then she buried the report so you can't read it, Stuart. Why you think that is? Please enlighten me. Trying to rig the system to protect himself. You to tell me he didn't take them documents? It's on video. Him loading them documents into the U-Haul and him driving them down to Mar-a-Lago, putting them in the shitter. Yeah, boxes and boxes of them. What was he doing that for? You ever ask yourself that? Why do you want them papers? Why do you want them so bad? And why wouldn't he give them back? Or they gave him 4 or 5 opportunities to give them back before they raided his place. He would never give them back. Why you think that is? You ever ask yourself these questions? No, you don't. Because you're in a cult, bro. And again, I don't hate on you. I'm just saying, use your fucking brain. You can't just, especially nowadays, you can't just take anything that anybody says at face value anymore, ever. Anything, any media, even media I used to trust. I don't watch CNN anymore and go, oh yeah, they're telling me everything I do. I see through that shit now. So you got to watch everything, read everything, and then make up your own minds. Because half of it is, like I said, just fucking Trump bullshit. That this Iran thing is, oh, he's been planning this for a decade. Everything's going according to plan. Really? That's complete and utter fucking bullshit. It's what you call propaganda, my friend. Lies. This is not going according to plan. And if it is, then he had a shitty fucking plan. It's like Stewart says Trump is a threat to the Democratic Party and want to remove him in any way possible. Trump is a threat to the fucking world, bro. Hey, look around. Look at how much shit you fucked up. I can't believe you're going to sit here and act like that Trump is doing a good job as president. That's when I can't take you serious. And that's why I say you're in a cult. Because there's no fucking way. You can't give me one statistical reason that Donald Trump is doing well as president. Even the stuff he wanted to do, he fucked up. He ain't deported as many people as he told you he was going to deport. As a matter of fact, like some of his bumblefuck operation, they wound up killing American people. And they had to call it off. This is the most incompetent jerk-off you've ever put in the White House. You're still sitting here acting like the guy's falling asleep, for Christ's sake. Now, Biden was too. And I've said this for a long time. These guys are too fucking old. You know, that's what we get for electing these old motherfuckers, like I said. And that's one of the reasons why we can't evolve, move forward. We can't let go of these old motherfuckers. The guys are too old. Trump's got running policies from 1890s. Tariffs. Monroe Doctrine from the 1840s. It's like, dude. This shit is not going to work. And like I said, as of right now, we got to borrow $166 billion a day to keep this going. Now he's talking about cutting off the gas tax. So you have to borrow even more. You're sitting here trying to tell me Trump is a threat to the Democratic Party. Trump's a threat to the United States and the world for being a bumblefuck idiot. And you, people like you that think he's doing a great job. You realize you're even below, you dropped below 30% now. I think he's like at 27%, which means even some of the hardcore culty mega people are starting to peel off now. Like, you're going to be left alone with about 20%. Oh, why you gotta say that? Doesn't matter what she was, bro. Is she a lesbian or a straight person? It doesn't matter. The fact that you would say that. See, that's the other thing is why is it like a prerequisite requirement to be mega just to be a fucking asshole? Why you gotta say that? Why can't she just be a human being? Say a human being died that shouldn't have died. Is that so hard to say? It's like Scott Jennings. Like you can't bring yourself to fucking criticize him one bit, can you? Because you're so in love with this motherfucker. And I don't understand it. I don't get it. It's like I can't wrap my head around being so loyal to someone that it's true what he said. He could go out and shoot someone on 6th Avenue, 5th Avenue or whatever, and you wouldn't even care. You wouldn't care. You guys are bombing fishermen out in the Caribbean. You for that too? For the blockade of Cuba and all the people that have died from that. You know, people don't talk about that. People don't even talk about that. That's how shitty this world has become. People die all the fucking time for unnecessarily for bullshit, horse shit actions by lots of governments around this world, and no one even fucking cares anymore. You know how many people died because, like I said, I was talking about it on the show. Because they blockaded Cuba, you couldn't get any fuel, they lost power on the island. All people in hospitals who were hooked to life support machines, et cetera, died because of Donald Trump. And you're sitting here acting like, oh, this guy's great. It's like, you're about to find out. You said, you guys like to say fuck around and find out. Well, you're about to find out because I said the last of the Middle Eastern oil is here, which means our price is going to keep going up. And like I said, sooner or later, we'll be rationing oil unless there's an impasse, a break in this impasse, unless Iran opens up the Strait of Hormuz. It's not going to happen. And like I said, you're talking about drill, baby, drill. You can't fucking use the oil we drill. That's a little hole in your theory there too, isn't it? They could sell it, but then the oil companies make the money. You getting money from that? How's that good for you? Who gives a fuck what CNN said, Stuart? She was a human being. Doesn't matter if she was LGBTQ, a minority, a lesbian. It doesn't matter. Why can't you just, from one human being to another, say, she died, she probably shouldn't have died. She wouldn't have died if Donald Trump wasn't there trying to make a big show. And if he hadn't hired a bunch of incompetent bumblefucks like himself who were poorly trained and given weapons and sent out into the street. You can't say that though, can you? Because I said you can't bring yourself to say, like Will Kane. You ever watch Will Kane? That fucking piece of shit. But if anybody says anything negative about Donald Trump, Will Kane's face looks like someone physically kicked him in the balls. He cannot hide it. He's so in love with Donald Trump. It's fucking sickening. It's like somebody said something bad about him, and he goes, you're like, this is the fucking problem. When's the last time you heard any of these people talk about, like I said, real problems, things we need to solve, problems that we need to fix in this country? We don't even do that anymore. We just yell at each other and call each other names and talk about trans people playing sports and all these fucking ridiculous things that ain't got nothing to do with your fucking life. Meantime, he's running this country into the ground. You're watching firsthand how you bankrupt a casino by being a fucking idiot. And why you should never trust anyone who's born with the $400 million trust fund. Because he never fucking had to do anything in his life. He never had to suffer any consequences for anything. He's only been surrounded by pathetic, drooling nutlickers who lived off of his money and told him that he was great. And this is how you get a person like Donald Trump. It's the people like you, Stuart, regular people, jerk-offs who work for a living, who now have to pay all this money for gas and all this other shit, who fucking think that this person cares about you while he's literally stealing your money. It's unbelievable. Stuart says, you know why Trump's deportation numbers aren't as high as expected? Take a guess. If you have two brain cells, you should be able to figure that out. What, because he fucked up? Because he didn't do it the proper legal way and the court stopped him? Because he deported people to secret black hole prisons in El Salvador? Are you fucking for that, Stuart? Really? You really think that just because someone left their country to try to come to America to make a better life for themselves, they never had a criminal record, never did anything wrong, right, deserves to be sent to a black hole prison in a third world country? You believe that? That's why. Because Trump can't do anything right. That's why. Because he's a fucking moron and he thinks that he's a king or a dictator and he doesn't have to follow the fucking law. Every time that you allow him to do that, you're giving away your rights too, Stuart. That's the part you don't seem to understand. Is every erosion of anyone's rights in this country is also an erosion of your rights. And when they're done with those people, eventually they'll come for you. And that's the part none of y'all seem to get. So I don't know what to tell you. Worship a golden statue of him and send him more money and Convince yourself that he's the greatest thing that ever happened to the world. Because some of y'all are lost, bro. Dude, there's lawbreakers in the country right now. The fuck are you talking about? Again, there's no evidence whatsoever of what he says. Like, oh, they emptied out of the prisons and insane asylums and dumped everybody. There's no evidence of any of that. I do get it, bro. You're brainwashed. I 100% get it. It's not that hard to figure out. Anyway, I appreciate you coming back here. And again, I'm not shitting on you. I'm just, it's a debate show. Only I'm a little rougher than Charlie Kirk. Anyway, if you just stumbled on the show today, I said I'm here every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. See, all you got is talking points, Stuart. I'd take you more seriously if you really wanted to have a discussion. But every time that you do that, you lose me more and more. You're harder to take serious. Do you have any thoughts of your own in your head? That's what I want to know. Are you all that like vacant vassals that are that easily manipulated and told what to do? Because just that saddens me. And I said, turn off the internet, bro, for a minute. Step back. Watch something besides Fox News for a minute. Open your mind, you know. Marge woke up. There's hope for you too. That doesn't mean that Marge is all of a sudden is cool. Like she's still not cool. But she realized that she got taken. One day you will too. If you keep coming here, hopefully it'll be sooner than later. All I want, no, you don't speak truth, bro. You speak what Sean Hannity or whoever told you to fucking say. Daily, like I said, Matt Walsh, people like that, all these people. I don't care whichever one it is that you fucking listen to, Tucker Carlson or it's like you speak truth. Yeah, so does Alex Jones. You're right. Yeah, exactly. You've been cooked in a stew of bullshit, my friend. Anyway, if you just stumbled on this show, like I said, I'm here. Thanks, Stuart. Come back again. I said again. I don't hate you. I wish one day to fucking reach you, but oh no, Julie, I'm so sorry. Julie says, "Hey, we gotta go. Have to take Athena to the vet in the morning. Say goodbye. She's dying, and I can't." I saw that post of her last week, and I thought the same thing. I was like, "Oh my god, you know, that's kind of what happened to Stella at the end." And, oh Jesus, you know, it's so fucking hard. I feel for you. I'm sorry. I really am. Listen, if you just stumbled on this show today, we're ending on a downer. I know. I'm sorry, Julie. Really, I am. It's awful. I don't even know what to say. Anyway, if you just stumbled upon the show today, so I'm here every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. If you want to send me a message, private message, it's Bruce Leonard Leans Left at Outlook.com. Yeah, Julie, I'm sorry. It's never easy. I'm lucky. I said I've only had 3 dogs, but but every one of them, you're like, oh God, sooner or later this is gonna happen. That's the only terrible thing about having a dog is they don't live long enough. They need to make a dog that'll live as long as you. Then you don't have to go through this shit. No, I really am sorry, Julie. It's fucking awful. Anyway, again, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. Please tell somebody, like I said, that Julie's losing her dog, but like, if you have someone in your life you love, tell them you love them. People don't say that enough. And please try to look past all the negativity and all the things and try to see the beauty in life, because there is beauty in it. It seems dark now, but what they say, it's darkest before the dawn. That's what they always say. You gotta maintain hope. I'll be back on Thursday. Thank you very much. Good night.
see. I guarantee I'd be the first to be standing there bathed in that light. Until that day I'll keep my eyes shut tight. I do not want to pick a fight. I